Yeah, feel same way I felt Saturday or whatever we played Tuesday, Saturday for me. Really played a great first half until we threw the pick right before the half, and defense still got a great stop after that pick and held them to 3 points, which was huge. Defense was dominant the whole evening against the run. Northern Illinois is a tremendous running football team, really physical team, and we did a great job all day defensively of not letting them get the run game going like they want. And get him in those longer yard situations and getting off the field. Offensively, we had 250 yards first half against teams giving up like 280 yards a game, and missed one field goal, but then got 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Did some nice things both running and passing first half. Second half, obviously didn't move the ball as well offensively. Had 4 possessions. Didn't really move it in all of them. Their defense is good, and they played probably were more physical in the second half against us. But our defense played really well right down to Corey Settle's strip sack and then blocking the field goal at the end. So hard fought figure kind of how the game went. Obviously playing with a lead is huge. Getting them to have to try to open things up, which they'd rather stay in their run game and play their defense and do their thing. So really, really good team victory. Put us in position where we want to be. You got one game left, and you got a chance to win it and get to Detroit. So what your goal is, what everybody's goal is, certainly what our goal is every year is to fight to get to Detroit. And our kids and coach have done a great job and fought real hard. Obviously starting off 1-4 and 0-1 in the league's not really where you want to be, but our kids and coaches done a great job of, just getting better each week and keep finding ways to win games. And obviously Bowling Green's tremendous opponent, lost by 7 to Texas A&M, who's in the college football playoff right now, lost to 7 by Penn State, who's really highly ranked right now. And the other team, they lost to Northern. Their quarterback got knocked out during the game as their only loss. So they're having a tremendous year. We knew going in they were playing really good at the end of last year. We thought they were one of the best teams in the league a year. Going at the end of the year, we really thought they were as good as anyone. And they got a lot of guys back. Tight ends, amazing player. Their quarterbacks, he's a really highly talented high school. Started at Missouri, started in Indiana. He's been at BG for a while now and really playing good football. They got a bunch of running backs. They're really good up front offensively. They got fast receivers on the outside that make big plays. Defensively, they've been stingy all year. Even when they played the Penn States and the Texas A&M, they haven't given up a lot of yards or points. So they played good football all year. We knew they would be one of, kind of going the year we thought SOU, Toledo, BG, and, Northern Illinois would probably be the, teams. That's what everybody's predicted, and kind of held the form that way. So on the road, Week 12 against a great opponent, great challenge for us, but a great opportunity for us too.
You mentioned NIU having to open things up a little bit. You forced 35 dropbacks, which was twice as much as what they did the previous week. How important was that, and also to get your pass rush as involved as they were late in the game?
Yeah, no, it's key. Anytime you play a team that wants to run the ball and is as good at running the ball as Northern Illinois is, getting them to those second and third and longs, and then getting them, behind in the score when you're down a couple scores, forces their hand a little bit and gets them out of, what they do, And anytime you can try to take away what they do, you're going to greatly increase your chances. And obviously our pass rush was really good. Our coverage was good. And we forced them, having a lead and then forcing them behind the chains. Good recipe for success.
If you practiced the trick play touchdown, was the throw ever that good in practice compared to the one that was actually thrown in game?
Yeah, I don't know if it could be that good. So even if he threw it good in practice, it wasn't as covered as good in practice. I know our scout team kind of just let him run open, and we lobbed it to him. So their safety got over and actually was in pretty good shape on the play. So it was a very good throw.
Typically in college football, you don't have to game plan that much for the tight end. This week, I imagine that's going to get a whole lot of scrutiny, shall we say.
Yeah, no, he's been a great player, and their tight end's been a great player in our league for a long time. He's been a huge weapon of theirs. They got a couple other tight ends who are really good players too that they use. But they use him like a wideout. They use him like a running back. They throw a ton of screen passes to him, like you throw screen passes. And they throw screen passes to their running backs too. They use your running backs in the pass game a ton too. And then they flex him out. He's all over the field. So they do a great job of game planning to get him in different spots so you don't really know where he's at. And they get him the ball, obviously, a ton of different ways. You don't have 80-some catches without them, doing a good job of moving him around. So, yeah, no, he will be, much like Ball State, but even more so, that their Ball State's tight end was their leading receiver, which is very rare, and this kid's their lead receiver by over twice as many catches as everybody else on the team. And they even hand the ball off to him and wildcat to him. So they'll snap it to him, they'll hand it to him, they're going to get him the ball because he's a major weapon and he can really run with the football like a giant tailback. He's had a lot of long plays where he's caught screen pass. I remember 3 years ago, I caught a screen pass against Buffalo. I went like 80-some yards with a screen pass. Not many tight ends are capable of doing that.
Could you be doing this a long time? Does he remind you of any tight end that you've ever coached with or coached for or against?
No, the only tight ends that really I remember that there's a lot of great receiving tight ends when you think of football and the history of football. And I've been around. I've coached, when I was at Notre Dame, we had Kyle Rudolph and Tyler Eifert. So those are two pretty good ones. You got potentially Hall of Famers. But to me, he more reminds me, and most people won't remember, of Kellen Winslow. Because Kellen Winslow could run and catch, but they used him all over the field. But he was such a weapon after he caught, even like Rudolph and Eifert, as great as they were, they weren't like huge weapons after they caught. Yeah, they could run over somebody and get you 6-8 more yards, And if there's no one there, they both are fast to run. But Fannon's ability to run and actually run like a tailback, to me, the Chargers used to throw the ball to Kellen Winslow, and he'd take an 8-yard pass, and he'd make guys. The next thing he'd be running like a tailback. And so to me, that's like the style. He's so athletic, and he's so strong when he runs the football that his ability after he catches it. Like when you think of tight ends run after catch, you just think of running over people, Mark Bavaro or somebody. You don't think of elusive. Even Kelsey does a great job running after catch, but he just kind of runs through people. He's not making people miss like this kid's capable of doing.
Good question got sent to me. A lot of talk about Miami having a 10-day break, BG having a 6-day break. Besides getting rest, what are some of the advantages when you have a couple extra
Well, actually,
days?
More prep time, is awesome. You get a couple extra days to prep on, get a couple extra practices to go through the stuff they do. Offensively, they change so much every week, so it's hard to prep from. They have a new passing attack every week. They game plan their opponents so well. They kind of have their scheme every week, so they'll have a different game plan for us. So, but just you get more prep time, more video time, obviously more rest time, obviously is a nice advantage.
I suppose any coach that's been doing it for a while has come up with games where they said, okay, well, we had a game plan, and I don't know, maybe that wasn't. But your game plans this year have always seemed to be right on point. I imagine that's a whole lot of credit to both the coaching staff for putting it together and for the players to buy into it every week.
Yeah, obviously defensively, our guys have executed our game plans. We've had really good plans. There's, like we've talked many weeks, we've taken away whether it be the run, whether it be a certain player, whether it be the slot at Eastern or the tight end at Ball State or maybe just a run game against Northern. They've done a good job of having a plan to try to take away what the other team does best. And like you said, that's great to have a good plan. Like kids have to buy in and then they got to execute it because you can also buy in and not execute. Our kids really are executing at a high level defensively. Particularly against Northern, they use all those 14 personnels and 13 personnels and Wildcat. They do a lot of different stuff to create problems in the run game and confusion, and that's where our guys were obviously on every personnel group, every different look they got. We were pretty much on and had guys in position to do the job, and Northern really does a good job of scheming it. BG will be the same way. So offensively, same deal. We've had good plans, but the kids execute the plans and do the things that they need to do. So I think most people can come up with good plans. The kids' execution, I think the second part of your thing is their buy-in and their execution's the key.
To that end, it really helps to have some smart and experienced guys around to kind of lead the way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's, definitely defensively with Sally and Ty and their experience, and then even guys up front like Kobe Hilton who've played a lot and Ugu played a lot, and so like they understand what we're trying to do. And then obviously offensively, you have an experienced offensive line, having really smart tailbacks, having a quarterback that's been around, so buy-in, execution, yeah, that experience makes a big difference.